as it was the time of care workers, it's now the time for teachers. And we can help you with that opportunity. So if you look in the description box below, you'll find our details there, and we can help you to come over to the UK to teach. Hi there. In this video, we want to look at the 12-point immigration changes. Then we're going to talk about how it affects you. And then finally, I'm going to show you what you can do about it right now. If you're a teacher, this is your time. So let's get straight into it. My name is Boomy Tokan. In this video, we're going to cover those 12 points on migration for the UK. The first thing I want you to understand is that this is not a law coming or rules coming that is personal. It's a political decision. The Conservative government promised in 2019 to reduce, 2017 and 2019, to reduce the number of migrants that are coming to the UK. So this 12-point proposal is part of their way of making sure that they deliver on their election commitment. So it's not against anyone. It's not against any country per se. All right. But there are still opportunities within it. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to reiterate these 12 points to you right now. Like I said, it's about controlling migration. It's about border security. It's about limiting refugee intake. But still, the government wants to maintain family reunification. The government of the UK still wants families to come over together. They don't want to split families, but part of their proposal will be to reduce the number of people who are able to come in. All right. So, the first set of people that this actually affects are the workers and students. So let's read what the 12-point proposal is saying. If you take a look at the first point that it makes, it's telling us right there that they want to close the scheme which temporarily grants eligibility for workers' visas to care workers. The report claims will reduce the visa numbers by 117,000. That's the first thing. Also, they want to raise the main skilled workers' visa salary to a £38,000 per year threshold, which means that organizations that cannot afford to pay £38,000 will not be able to offer work to those coming from abroad. The next point, which then begins to address students. They want to extend the closure of the student-dependent route, which gives dependents of students the right to work in the UK, which means that before you could come on a one-year master's program and you could come with your wife, but they want to stop that. They're proposing to stop that, meaning they think that would save another 75,000 people from coming to the UK. Actually, one of the reasons why this is going on is that the highest numbers of migrants that we've had in the UK was 480,000 or thereabouts. But in 2022, that number reached 606,000 numbers of visa applications in relation to work. All right, so that's why they're bringing these changes to the UK. Next is they want to close the graduate route, which allows students to stay in the UK for 2 years following graduations without a job offer. When you graduate with either a master's or a degree, you can apply for a visa that allows you to stay for another 2 years. They want to shut that down. Okay, next, they want to deal with universities. They want to ensure that students or study visas only go to best international students. And how are they going to do that? That's coming up in a moment. They're going to exclude poor performing universities. So no longer will people be able to duck under the universities and say, oh, I'm a student, so that's why I'm still here. They want to close that route. The next thing is got to do with spouses again. And they want to raise the minimum income that the spouse needs to have for them to be able to for them to be able to come over to the UK. And they want to raise the minimum language requirement. So the language requirement, the exams that is taken, the IELTS exams that is taken, they want to increase the level. So if you do not achieve up to a B1 level, you will not be able to come even as a spouse. So they want to shut that route down. And then this one, I think, makes a huge amount of difference, right? Because they want to raise the immigration health surcharge to $2,700 per person per year. That's a huge jump. It's jumping from something around £500 to $2,700. I don't know how the UK government is going to be able to sustain this kind of change. Then we move on to how this affects housing. In terms of housing, they're trying to make some changes there. They're requiring the Migration Advisory Committee to report on the effects of migration on housing and public services in addition to job market. And then finally, in regards to housing, they want to cap the amount of social housing that councils can give to non-UK nationals at 5% until the number of British families waiting for housing has cleared. So if you come over, you won't be able to get a house that quickly. And then they're also shutting down some of the humanitarian assistance that is being given. Actually, they're making a change, so to speak, is a better way of putting it. So when it comes to humanitarians action, they want to monitor the reduction of humanitarian visas and introduce a cap on future schemes if they do not fall below 168,000. Next one is they want to ensure the rapid implementation of the illegal migrant bill, which could lead to a reduction of at least 35,000 people in the long term. And then finally, they want to cap the number of refugees that have been allowed to come and resettle in the UK. So that's the 12-point proposal that the conservative government, part of the conservative government members are making. All right. So here is now the deal. How does all this affect you? You will notice that the two primary sectors of people that this affects is care workers. Actually, there's a law now this has actually come into place. There's a law right now that if you are a student, you cannot easily convert to care work. So that route has been blocked at the time of recording this. But what else? Well, you will notice that the care workers were the first group of people to be dealt with, if you like, because they want to reduce the numbers of people that can apply for care work visa. In other words, I think they're suggesting that UK has had enough care workers and we don't need any more. But the reality of the matter is there's still a huge shortfall in the number of care workers, so I don't quite know how they're going to manage that. The second group of people that's been affected are the students. So one, you're going to pay more for the health charge. Number two, you're going to pay, you will need to be achieving more in terms of your academic proficiency for you to even have a visa. So the levels is being raised. The levels for your spouse is being raised. The number of years you can stay in the UK after you've completed your academic qualification is being removed. Students also are being dealt with. Now, the only group of people that this doesn't seem to affect right now are the teachers. So if you are a teacher, if you're a qualified teacher and you want to come over to the UK to teach, this will not apply to you yet. Well, one may apply, which is the health surcharge, may apply to everyone, I guess, but at least you are not going to have restrictions on your visa, and you're not going to have some of the other restrictions that are being proposed here. So being a teacher, if you're a teacher and you've got teaching qualification in your country of origin, there is opportunity for you to come over to the UK to teach. Actually, if you live in Ghana, India, Jamaica, Nigeria, Singapore, South Africa, and Zimbabwe, the British government would like you to come over to the UK to teach. So if you're a teacher, this is your time. As it was the time of care workers, it's now the time for teachers. And we can help you with that opportunity. So if you look in the description box below, you'll find our details there, and we can help you to come over to the UK to teach. All right, so I want to make some final points. This 12 points plan on migration aims to create fair, secure, and effective system for managing migration in the UK whilst prioritizing family reunification and ensuring support and integration measures for refugees and migrants. So I want to say two main things before I close. The government will work in consideration with its international competitiveness. That's what's going to happen. The government will have to work to ensure that the UK is still receiving its fair share of foreign exchange coming into the country. They're not going to make any proposals that's going to just shut down completely any amount of foreign exchange coming to the UK, because we are so united together with other countries. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to say is that these 12 points are still a proposal. They're not a law. You know, you watch some videos, people are talking about it as though it's law already. No, it's not law already. They are just proposals. Let me say that again. These 12 points, they are not law yet. They are just proposals. And if anyone will be smart enough to start thinking about what they can do about it, that's what's going to stand you in good stead. So if you want to be a teacher in the UK, which is what we do, we help teachers to come over from African countries and Asian countries, then do get in touch with us. The description box below, you would find our details in there. So get in touch. All right then. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do subscribe, share it, like it, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.